Welcome to Be My Guest, a special series celebrating 25 years of unforgettable moments and the people who made them possible. Every conversation is a tribute to the journey so far and a toast to what's still ahead. Follow or subscribe and be part of our journey. Well, let me start by saying, for those who don't know me, I'm Steve Kriaris, president of a company called Nike Group, and this is our first episode of Be My Guest with Steve Kriaris. And my first guest is Elias Karkabasis. Elias, thank you for coming today. I really appreciate you being here.
Steve, it's great to be here.
This gentleman here is the root of all wine in my life, the person who inspired me to get into the wine business, fall in love with wine, the passion of wine. I think honestly gave me the bug, the Lalonis bug, if we can go that far back.
Very good.
To California with the ladybugs back then. And that brings me to today's first that'll be my guest interview with you. And with us today, I have a 2000 vintage of Kriaris reminisce. A lot of dust on there right now. It's been sitting in my cellar for quite a few years. I know this is one of the first and only wines that Yanni Boutari had actually spent some time working on when the vineyards were very young back then, even though as a young vine, this has 30-year-old vines back in 2000. And it was, what I read back here in the label, what they call a Grand Reserve style Xinomavro from the region of Nausa. 2000 vintage being the year that we started the company back in 2000, so it's already 25 years old since then. So I'm going to get this one here open up. And do you have any things to talk about from back in those days?
From reminisce, the first imports that I did.
Yes.
Before Steve started Nike Group, we had this company that started called Sponvi Wine and Spirits.
That's right, yeah.
And with Sponvi, I was in California.
This may have come from you in California, by the way.
With my
just
own,
for the record.
It could have.
You could have, yeah.
With my old contacts and stuff, we brought in Kriaris into the Ontario market. Yeah. This wine at that time, reminisce, was their Grand Cru. They didn't have different levels of stuff. They were doing one super special vintage. Good job on opening that cork. Oh, you lost it.
I hope you got that on video. I've never seen that in my entire life.
That's fantastic. What just happened is amazing.
That was pretty cool.
I should have had my Duran for that, but
yeah, it's all good.
We
almost got it out.
Half the cork, it's in there, but
a little
it
tiny
doesn't
bit.
look like it's...
No, it didn't bleed at all, so I think we're going to be okay.
Fantastic.
Should we get this decanter, do you think?
I think if we were pros, yeah, but I think since we're right here right now,
we're going to pour it as is.
Pour a little tiny bit and see what happens out of that. Man, that looks so good.
Here is 25-year-old Xinomavro with 30-year-old vines at the time.
Xinomavro, acid black, sour black.
The bitter black, yeah.
This is Greece's answer of Nebbiolo, Barolo, stuff from Italy. The grape variety has that same texture, sort of similar to Pinot Noir and Nebbiolo, and it's fantastic. The color on this.
They also say this is the ancestral varietal of Nebbiolo in many ways.
Yes, they say that.
Through DNA, they've figured that.
They did, at that time, Mihaly Boutari, son of Yanni Boutari, was at UC Davis, and I got to read his master's thesis on this, on putting, which I still have. He gave me a copy, which was pretty spectacular.
That's pretty cool.
At that time, and it has DNA tracing. Nebbiolo has DNA tracing to Xinomavro.
Incredible.
And so does Pinot Noir. They have the same DNA traits, where they break apart a bit, but 5 pips in this grape, and also a very thick skin, right? So it makes it...
And not an easy grape either to harvest.
Not an easy grape. He would say to me, Mihaly said they'd have to have the grape angels coming in to pull the skins away and the pips out to make a beautiful wine. So,
cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to 25 years.
Thank you, sir. Cheers to being there all the way.
Wow.
One of the things I love about this wine is that it's, unfortunately or fortunately, they don't even make Xinomavro like this anymore. This style of this wine is officially gone on the wayside.
There's a couple guys that do old school Xinomavro, but everyone's changed to the new world.
Yeah.
And they become new world winemakers.
Yes.
Having to appeal to the population and not wait 25 years to drink a bottle of wine. which is this one. I'm going to take a sip of this. Sorry.
Please, by all
can't- I
means, just for
can't.
us to drink and enjoy.
Wow.
I think it's aging better than we are.
Wow. It's aging fantastic.
The tannin structure's still there. Steli Butari, if you ever watch this video, well done, my friend.
It was great.
And this is an ode to Yanni Butari as well, who
You
was
better believe it.
instrumental in our world of wine
Yep.
in Greece. And I mean, thanks to him and the investment they did with Butari 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when they had bottled vineyards in Naousa, Goumenis, Peloponnneso, Crete, Santorini. You know, they were building those wineries many, many moons ago before a lot of these guys even had vineyards in Greece and wineries, which is kind of amazing. And they're the ones who put all those varietals in those regions on the map.
Wow. It's like
And many winemakers today that are world-class winemakers actually started working at Butari in those days, 30, 40 years ago.
wow. This is aged fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's unbelievable. Stewed tomatoes,
Yes.
mushrooms,
Black pepper,
black pepper, olives.
black olives, yeah.
Oh my God, it's and the great thing about it in the mouth, it's still got that beautiful cherry
Yeah. Dark
fruit
cherry,
that comes through, right?
aged fruit, yeah.
But it has this really dirty tannin that you just, it's like drinking
That's the beauty of that.
a bit of that xinomavro, that sour,
The real
acid
sour,
black
yeah.
stuff that goes through in the palate. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to
Thank you.
25 years of this stuff.
Absolutely. But other than the wine, what's changed in our world in 25 years?
We're not driving to New York and bringing wines across the border in the middle of the night and not telling the agents that we have 15 cases of wine in the back of our
Oh boy, those are the good old days. Yeah.
Ford.
shit we did
Was
to
it a
make things
Ford
happen.
Escape? No, it was a Ford Explorer
Yeah. No
filled
days.
with 15 cases of wine from Lalonis in California, bringing it across because we couldn't get it imported into Ontario.
right. That's
Thank
right.
you,
That's right.
LCBO,
That's
and the
right.
crazy laws of this
Ah,
place.
well, things have come a long way since then, though. Things have opened up a lot more. Greek wine is a lot more accepted. I mean, if we go back 25 years ago when we started this whole journey, Greek wines were barely accepted in most any restaurants.
Well, let's not go too far. We're at Mazes on the Danforth.
Yes.
And when I first came up here with you, and Tony, if he comes into this picture and sees this stuff, we came to him and presented. He had a wine list filled with
Anything you could get.
Australia,
At the time, it was anything you could get, yeah.
California,
Yeah.
a mix of everything to make their wine list and whatever Greek wines they could find.
It's true.
And I said, it's time for you to go all Greek. Here's Stavro Kriaris with stuff and a whole list of wines that will change the whole, how do you say, the landscape.
Well, it did change the landscape because Tony was the first one to bite the bullet and go all Greek with the wines.
Yep.
And if I can holler at Tony right now, we're filming our first ever episode of Be My Guest with Steve Kriaris and Elias Karkabasis, who you know. And we just brought your name up since we're in your beautiful original restaurant here. If you can grab a glass and join us and come taste history with us, that would be amazing.
Need to grab
so
a
give us
glass.
a second, we'll
Absolutely,
get
I'd
Tony
love
out
to.
here. And we'll get a little chair for Tony if you can squeeze him in here too. That'd be awesome. But yeah, the wine world has changed a lot in 20 years. And I think, come on over, come and join us. For those
I'd
of you who
love
haven't
to.
met Tony, this is Tony Pethakas, owner and proprietor of Mazes Restaurant, Mazes Esciatorio. Tony, today we're
gentlemen.
doing a 2000 vintage of Kyriani Ramista, which is probably one of the wines you've had on your list from many moons ago. And we're quite blown away by what this wine is tasting like right now. And it's so impressive.
Which
That
we're so
being
glad
said-
you sold them all.
Yes, yes.
I
Because
wish
at
you
one
kept
point
some
you
back.
had verticals, I believe.
We had
at the
verticals of
restaurant.
Ramista.
Ramista, some Papioano verticals. What else? You had Skouras verticals
Yeah.
of the Megasinos, I remember. And there were many different wines that we had verticals of and stuff. So cheers to that.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, gentlemen.
And a big
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a blessing to be at the
because-
table with you.
You know, 20 plus years ago when we decided to go all Greek MSS, I think we're all kind of challenged, to be honest. We didn't know how it was going to go over. But till this
It's
day,
true.
you're still,
We're still
All
100% Greek.
whether it's a French varietal, Greek varietal, I think you also represent probably around 25 varietals now collectively on your list, or 22 varietals on your list,
About that.
which is kind of cool.
Which kind of takes you on a trip to Greece, in Greece, and you get to experience all the different areas, what same varietals in different areas have to offer you.
Wow.
Greek. Oh, this is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Isn't it
But I do have to
crazy?
say,
This is
history.
crazy.
I remember the conversation with the two of you guys 20 years ago, and we're sitting at a table, and I'm like, I'd really like to do something different. I only want to offer Greek wine. And for everybody else I had spoke to prior to the two of you, I had a lot of roadblocks who were, what you're asking for is impossible, Greece isn't ready, Greece isn't this. And I remember sitting down with the two of you, giving me all the confidence in the world. Greece is ready. You are ready. Let's get started.
Yeah.
And now it's been 20 plus years, and proud of a list that
Now you're over 100 labels, I think. At the new
over
Milestones.
100
Yeah.
labels.
Over 100 labels of Greek wine, which is incredible. And you do them all. Dessert wine, reds, white, rosés,
Everything.
magnums, I think you have. too,
Magnums
on the
as
plates,
well.
Which is kind of exciting.
Wow.
But that being said, I mean, this is a trip down memory lane for sure.
This is incredible.
It's the start of when we started this venture. I still consider myself part of the venture, even though I'm not part of the
100%.
venture. I'm still part of this throughout this whole time. Whenever there's an event, I'm there. Whenever there's an event, I get to speak. Whenever there's an event, I'm invited.
Always.
It's like part of being the part of that flag bearers of Greek wines, or Greek everything for that matter, right?
Well, if you go back, you were importing Greek wine into America 30 years ago almost, I think, wasn't
Yes.
it? 30 years ago, yeah.
One of the first guys that
Yeah.
didn't just bring in
bulk-
Kurtaki,
the bulk
Retsina,
stuff, yeah, yeah.
Kudos Red,
That's for
Kuros
sure, yeah.
White, which was on the
Yeah.
LCBO shelves here for
Yeah, for
10, 15
maybe
years.
too long, yeah. Back in those
Right?
days. The Makedonikos wines.
And
In those days, yeah. Things
when
have
I was
changed a lot.
living in Greece, the whole Hadzi Mihalis was the first guy to really change the dynamics
right.
because he had some money
He invested in the vineyards, yeah.
and he was importing Grundig and all these things into Greece, and he made some money and he started making wine. Brought a couple of French viticulturists and enologists in, and he started making some wine in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. Atalanti vineyards.
You better believe it, middle
right.
of nowhere,
That's right.
because he had the land and it had the great seascape and the breezes coming off
That's
off the sea. It was pretty amazing. He did some things fantastic during that time, and then Butari started. When it was the original Butari, and then he started doing
yeah, up in their
experimental
game as
stuff
well,
in
yes.
Santorini, in Crete, in Thessaloniki, in Amindio. Brothers split up. Yanni Butari starts his own thing.
With his two sons, that's right,
with
yeah.
the two sons, and starts doing his own things, which is what we're drinking now. But Butari at that time started doing super experimental stuff on Santorini with enologist Yanni Paraskevopoulos, which we used to import,
many
into
moons ago, yeah.
this market many moons ago. And Paraskevopoulos screwed up many vintages in Santorini, and they wanted to have his head. But now he's on the forefront of
That's right.
Greek winemakers. He was on the edge where everyone else was just waiting
That's
to
right.
do stuff. He started things, made things happen, and everyone sort of followed suit. We'll go to Kyriani. We'll go to Yervasiliou. We'll go
Saving
to
Malagousia and putting it on the map for everybody.
You know,
Thank you, Evangelos, for that.
right? Yeo wines with these guys.
Skouras in the 80s.
Skouras in the 80s, and Skouras did a huge job for Nemea and
Yeah.
that whole region, right?
You kind of modernized the whole Nemea
Modernize
play
it,
for
and
everyone.
then everyone just grabbed hold and took off.
Yep.
Selipos and Mandinea and Nemea,
That's right.
making some wines. And if you go into Nemea now, you'll see I don't know how many wineries are, how many winemakers are, but there's a fast wine tour that you can just go through there and see everyone, and then go down Aflio and go down and visit Skouras, which is an amazing little trip for anyone to go to.
Absolutely. And I suggest anybody that goes down there to just reach out and let us know. We can set them up with winery tours and whatnot. But
And I
any
speak from
regrets?
experience.
Yes. Any regrets going all Greek on the wine list?
Never, not once.
Never, not once.
It's been a sense of pride and a testament to you, Kolonaki Group, for allowing us, Little Mizes, to kind of be able to join you on that journey. You've made us feel like family, always part of the process moving forward, the changes that are happening in Greece, how vinification has changed, the resurgence of ancient varietals. You've been a true testament to kind of educating this market specifically, myself included. And I think the consumer at the end of the day has been blessed that, you know, from your initiative 20 years ago, been blessed to bring to market some of what I believe were the best wines in the world.
Sure.
In many ways, yeah.
Yeah, it
absolutely.
happens. You know, the wine market is a volatile business.
Yes.
One agency's with you 1 year, the next year they switch over because they think they'll do better, and then they switch over to another guy. They don't like this guy. The new marketing director wants to do this. So it's a very volatile
We've
business.
lived through all that stuff.
You know, it's like the Italians were 20 years ago, super
Yeah.
volatile, and still are. You know, wines change agencies weekly,
Yeah.
daily in this market, because this is a hard market.
It
The
is.
Ontario
It
market's
is.
a hard market, and it's a hard market to break into.
Yeah.
And to break out of, you know, to have Mezes as a flag bearer, and I'm not saying that because you're in front of me, Tony, to have them as
No,
a
it's
flag
very
bearer
true,
where
it's very
guys
true.
go, hey, look what these guys have done, and see what we can do for ourselves instead of having French and German and California and all this stuff and just making their wine list to the cuisine that they're doing. And there's a lot of places that do that. You go to an Italian restaurant, you think they've got any other wines other than Italian?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, right?
And to be honest, and even looking back, if I look back at like 10, 15, 20 years ago, because, you know, it's all nice now, but I mean, the reality is the struggles were real coming in originally. Like how many times we have droughts of wines that couldn't get in. And when I say it's not going to be for 3 months, like 3 months. I just lost the whole summer. I'm like, okay.
It comes down to the end, us who purchased X amount. Like you said, only 100 cases coming in, and then Cognac Group having to decide, okay, Mezes gets 5, this guy gets 5, and Mezes goes through 5, I call him back, and we called it back then, we called it the LCBO brick wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. You build
right.
momentum,
Yeah.
and there's a brick wall you just can't push through. You can't get it here any faster.
I mean, in all fairness, too, though, like I know, as I said before, I love bashing on the LCBO, blaming them for everything, but the reality is they've gotten a lot better, and I do believe it's mainly because the LCBO themselves now finally believes in Greek wine, right?
Right.
But that comes from what? That comes from 2 decades of being on the streets, you know, peddling products to restaurants and whoever else will listen, sort of thing, and that's kind of the outcome of what we're doing, right?
Sure.
But, you know, that being said, the grind is real. The struggle's always been real. There's a lot more work to be done, that's for sure. And I'm grateful to have great people in my life that I get to work with every day, yourselves included, because for me it's really about the relationships, you know. And I guess part of the reason why my first real video is here on the Danforth, because myself and many others, we all started our businesses, you know, kind of coming on the Danforth and knocking on doors. Today we kind of think of the Danforth as a secondary thought sometimes, but the reality is we're all here because we all began our businesses, right? We used to call on many different accounts all the time down here, peddling. There's probably, in those days, 25 years ago, it was like 20 different restaurants to be, you know, knocking doors on, sort of thing, right? Not everybody was buying into what we're selling. It's okay, but the reality is, you know, here we are today, many years later, and things are, you know, looking a lot better for us, which is great. And it's really exciting for all of us. So I'm not complaining at all. I'm grateful to be back here for my first ever, you know, video podcast, which is amazing. And for that, I'm very grateful. And I'm grateful to have you guys here today. So I do want to say one more toast.
Thanks for having
And
us.
cheers.
Steve.
Thank you for being
Thanks
my
for
guest
being
today.
on the journey.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
And there's
Right.
25 more years to go, by the way. So you're not getting off the hook that easy. That's for
Just
sure.
the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
We'll have to pull some more wines out
And
of
we
the
have
cellar.
a few beautiful children that are all lined up too for this next round of the journey. So
You better believe
cheers
it.
to
man.
that.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Thomas. Cheers. It's awesome. Thanks.